The viewscape can be managed to enhance the visual experience. The viewscape varies with distance and is commonly divided into the foreground, middle ground, and background. The purpose of this video is to show these changes, and secondly, this knowledge can be used by outdoor recreationists to navigate and orient themselves in the outdoors. Two tables used in the U.S. Forest Service Visual Management System form the foundation of this video. The Forest Service uses the Visual Management System to assess, classify, and manage the visual resource to help reduce conflicts under its multiple use concept. The two tables indicate the viewscape characteristics for the foreground, middle ground, and background. This overlook on the Kangamongas Highway in the White Mountains illustrates the data found in the two tables. The foreground extends to 1/4 to 1/2 mile from the observer. The trees and their individual branches are clearly identifiable. Everything looks normal. The middle ground extends from 1/4 to 1/2 mile to 3 to 5 miles. In general, the individual trees are identifiable, but their branches merge together as a solid mass. At the far distance, there may be a slight color shift and softening color contrast. The background extends beyond 3 to 5 miles. Objects lack detail. Individual trees are not identifiable and merge together to create a solid mass. Other landforms do the same. A visible color shift toward the blues and grays is present. Looking down through Crawford Notch in the White Mountains, this scene shows the continuity of the viewscape in the middle ground ranges. In the foreground, the individual branches on the trees are clearly visible. There is a drop-off in the slope, which is hidden from view. Indicating the middle ground, the individual trees are visible on both slopes. As your view proceeds down the valley, the trees begin to merge together, and by the end of the valley, they merge together into a solid green mass. There is a slight color shift, suggesting that it is most likely in the 3 to 5 mile range. Compare this with the color shift toward the blues and grays in the mountains to the right that clearly lie behind this ridge. Understanding the differences between the foreground, middle ground, and background can aid in navigation. An obvious use is to determine relative distances to distant objects. How far is this distant shore, and how long will it take to cross the open stretch of water? The individual trees are still visible, suggesting a middle ground distance, probably 1 to 2 miles across. Traveling at 2.5 miles per hour, it should take roughly 45 minutes to cross this stretch of water. Remember that the viewscape changes as the canoes approach the far shore and as the middle ground merges into the foreground. Traveling down the coast of the Everglades, the coastline on the left is a middle ground distance, suggesting a distance of 1 to 2 miles. To the right, the background scene suggests a good 3 to 5 mile distance further down the coast. Gaps in the continuity of the viewscape can be used in navigation. The backside of a mountain or hill create obvious gaps in the continuity. Consider this scene in the Everglades. Notice the continuity among the trees on the left. As expected, the trees become smaller with distance, and the individual branches merge into where only the individual trees are identifiable. The background is relatively uniform also. Close inspection reveals a gap in the continuity between the middle ground and background. This gap suggests that a portion of the viewscape is missing. Examination of the chart suggests that there is an inlet around the corner, and indeed, an inlet is there. The group isn't lost. In summary, the characteristics of the viewscape change with distance. It is divided into the foreground, middle ground, and background. As shown in the Crawford Notch view, the change in the viewscape is actually a continuous process. However, there are usually gaps in continuity due to the backside of mountains, inlets, or terrain hidden from view. The principles are used by the land management agencies to manage the visual resource. The Forest Service has done extensive research on managing the visual resource, and the viewer is encouraged to explore their literature further. In addition, the principles can be used by outdoor recreationists to help orient themselves in the outdoors and to assist in their